right, guys. Welcome to Florida's Drinking Report. I'm your host again, Dave Boucher, joined again by Brian Tonneson.
Hey, yo!
And we are a special live location today at the Mets Stadium.
Clover Park.
Clover Park, spring training.
I mean, it's really been a wild spring training season. I don't think we've caught any better weather in the history of spring training in Florida. There's only been one rain out, and these guys just completely bypassed it. They said we can fit a game in. And today's our team outing, too, of all things. Yeah.
So Brian and I got here a little early today to set up the tent, start the tailgate a little early.
Yeah.
Who are the Mets playing today?
So we have the, I like to call them the Florida Marlins. Mama called them the Florida Marlins. I call them the Florida Marlins. It's Miami Marlins. Good luck naming 8 players on the Marlins or 5 players on the Marlins.
Or 1 player on the Marlins.
But we've got a couple regular players for the Mets today, too, which is awesome.
Nice.
Pete Alonso, Lindor. No Juan Soto, but I mean, he doesn't need me booing him anyway, so there's that. Yeah.
So the month of March, so there's 2 seasons in Florida. There's baseball spring training, and then there's summer. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
And Brian, we call him now Mr. Baseball.
My brother said I was the face of spring training beer.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll take that, yeah.
So Brian has busted his butt the past couple of years. Started off at Cacti Stadium down in West Palm.
Yep.
And this year we have a presence at all 3 ballparks?
All 3 ballparks in our immediate backyard. So Cacti Park being the big one. It's just a relationship that we really cultivated over the last 3 years. And truthfully, it's really been like the joy of my working experience, my career, if you want to call it that. Just to see it go from, a little bit of potential to, it's unbelievable how much beer they actually go through. This year, Dave and I sat down with the Mets, and this is how far back it goes, late October, and we're able to partner with them this year. And it's really been exciting to see the response to people coming to their local stadium and seeing Sailfish. Yeah. I mean, I know you see it in the tap room. I certainly see it out in the trade, certainly when I'm in a Publix and go, Sailfish, I had you at the stadium. And then this year,
I think it was last weekend, 2 weekends ago. We had Turtle Fest going on. It was opening weekend also. So all 3 ballparks and Turtle Fest going on. Yeah. I think you said we had 30,000 people exposed to our beer in one day.
So here's the thing, Turtle Fest in one weekend. The great Mr. Andy said there was about 16,000 people over the course of those 2 days. Opening weekend here at Clover Park, because of one former Yankee, who will not be named. Broke my heart personally, made my heart professionally. Over the course of this past weekend was just shy of 17,000 people. Ballpark of the Palm Beaches, their opening weekend, it was 2,000 the first game, 3,000 the second, and then Roger Dean, I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of 2,000 to 4,000 people. So very close to 35,000 people exposed to our beer over a weekend. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. That whole month of March for us, I mean, it goes by in a blink of an eye, but man, the amount of baseball we cram in a month's period of time is pretty goddamn amazing.
Well, it's one thing to be in the park, Dave, but like the other side of that coin is doing your best to get a relationship with everybody in the stadium. There's
you did that at Cacti to start off with.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's walking vendors in that park who have become friends. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where...
I remember the first year I went to Cacti, and you already set up everything there, and I went in there, and you were treated like royalty. Because, you know Brian? Yeah, I know Brian. Oh, yeah, come here, sir. Come this way. The private entrance. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Well, I learned a long time ago, because I had lots of opportunities between another supplier position and certainly as a distributor. All the mistakes I made working with all the ballparks before, thinking, well, my beer is there. Yeah. That's all I have to do. And
you gotta be there to push it.
The thing is, it's like, yes, having your beer there is great, but doing the extra stuff to make those connections with the people in the stadium, and certainly like spring training, what's really cool here is that there are people who just come down for this. Yep. They're here all 4 weeks. So there are people who've been coming to Cacti Park for the last 3 years who go, hey man, I remember you. So we really stepped that up. So
well, you have a memorable personality, so yeah. You hold a space.
But to that end, no, it's I just think it's so unique to this part of Florida too. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously on the West Coast, there's some really good ones, but I mean, a handful of our parks have 2 teams in them. You know,
listen,
so there's games going on every day.
Americans pastime, and then again to be in our backyard of the Mets Stadium today, and you solidify that partnership this year with Southern Eagles' help. It was just
they were
an awesome thing to see and do, and to be out here and doing a company outing today to go catch a spring training game and. Well, the awesome weather out.
Big reveal today is that we could have brought the barbecue.
I know. Well,
that was, oh man, that would have been a cool thing. I think it would have been cool for the podcast too. But there's nothing quite like weather like this and getting that grill fired up, having a couple beers. Yeah.
So, this is your 3rd year doing the.
So
games?
it's the 3rd spring training season for me as a Sailfish employee.
What is your most memorable experience so far?
Okay. All right, funny one or just in general?
Just memorable.
Just
what
very
sticks out.
Okay, throwing out the opening pitch my first year at Sailfish with Cacti Park.
Okay.
Because the 2nd year, I bounced the pitch, and while there was a lot more fanfare, like the mascot walked me to the mound, there was all sorts of cool stuff. I got to the mound and the PA announcer was still talking about me, which was distracting. I understand how like people miss free throws now. But I'm standing on the mound, and the catcher who's supposed to catch my ball is waving like, come on, dude, throw the ball. I'm like, no, this jabroni is still talking about me. And he's like, Brian Mepperpud, you can get a Sunrise City. And like the dude's like, throw the ball! So, like, fuck, I'm not ready. So I step into the throw, and I felt good about it. Like, right hand to God, dude, just ready to go. 98, Gas House Gorilla. And it did not do that. It bounced like 8 feet in front of the plate. My brother has a video. He's all hyped. Everything's looking good. He goes, oh, no, he bounced it. And then turned. You and Emily were great. You guys, she didn't even see it. She goes, you already threw it? Which was awesome. But no, that first year, I didn't expect it to happen. We did a team outing at Cacti very early on, and I'm walking up to the stadium, and the great Mike McAdams, who, gosh, Mike, we miss you this year, but we're doing a great job over at Cacti. I'm sure you're crushing it with the Braves. Comes up to me and goes, hey, man, what are you doing here? You don't have an event today. I'm like, nah, dude, we're here as civilians. We're doing our team outing. He goes, oh, I'm so glad you're here. Look, a week from today, do you want to throw out the opening pitch? Never been presented with that before in my life. I didn't know they were scouting me. Had to flex up a little bit, warm up, tune up the band a little bit. And I think that's the only thing I talked about our entire team outing. It was pretty annoying that day.
I mean, as you should be.
Well, but here's the thing.
Expected.
In fairness, somebody went in and changed the kegs, and we all ordered lagers and got Sunrise Cities. So we started today with a good 7% IPA. Do not recommend, certainly for the 999 challenge. But got out there.
So time out there.
Okay.
Explain to everyone what the 999 challenge is.
All right.
So it's new to me.
So it's a new thing over the last 2 years. In baseball stadiums, when you're not there where you're doing everything but watching the game. The 999 challenge is 9 innings of baseball. You have to have 9 hot dogs and 9 beers within that span. Okay? With the base rule that you have to have a beer and a hot dog per inning. I did a practice round. I got through 4. I don't think I could do 9, but I think at some point this year we're planning to do a 999.
Yeah, during probably a non-spring training.
A non-spring training game where we could just be loud and obnoxious and nobody cares.
I have a feeling after about 6 innings we'll be pretty loud.
I think after 5 innings they'll kick us out and we'll never be allowed to be here again. It's the long and short of it. But no, throwing out that opening pitch was killer. Got it over the plate. Felt like $1 million afterwards. On the field, which was cool. I don't know. I'm not big on stuff like that, but I thought that was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, it's an amazing moment.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool moment in time. Yeah,
during spring training especially.
And then my not so. What's up, man?
Cool, man.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Not so well. It's not really a not so proud moment, but opening day last year.
What makes this tent so cool?
It's a cool logo, man. A lot of people. Well, I think it's a cool logo, but also other side of that is anytime we put this thing up, people like honestly, within 8 seconds of Dave putting up this tent, like 3 or 4 people walked over, like, you guys doing like a sampling or something? It's like, no, these beers are for us. We are being very selfish today. It's usually very magnanimous and here, have a beer, and You know, if someone goes beers on you at a bar, I typically will buy them. Not today. This is not today. This is tailgate day. This is team outing.
We can be selfish a little every once in a while.
I think one day a year at a ballpark where we're parked right next
Today's
to
the day.
Yeah. Opening day 2 years ago, or no, last year, I didn't do my due diligence and check all the beers before everything started. So I walked in, I saw that my taps were there, that the beers had arrived. I set up and we usually do like an event on every Saturday or what have you. And I'm looking at the bar, and I see white Marlin pouring, but it's coming out like Tag. And then I look, someone's pouring a Sunrise, and it's coming out like white Marlin. All the beers were jacked up. There's a line from here to third base of people waiting to get beer, and they're getting the wrong beers. So I had to cut my event, jump in that beer cooler.
Trust but verify.
And well, you know, but and it's not I don't think it's the stadium's fault. I think they brought in like a third-party line cleaner who just kind of hooked up kegs. All good. So my first thought was, let me jump in the cooler and change couplers. And I said, that's a stupid idea, because I could just twist these tap handles and move them around. So
there you go.
Yeah, which was a much better move. And then come to find out a couple days later, that same line cleaner came in and said, "Who did this?" and screwed all the. But I was wise to your tricks, whoever you were.
No, it goes back to like
probably
this,
someone
like,
from a competitor.
People don't, and that's
Kidding.
the impetus of like this whole what we're even trying. Why we started this whole podcast was like exposing people how just how difficult, but what goes involved with getting to this point.
Right.
And it's not easy. And like everything like you just mentioned right there, how the beer's being hooked up wrong. All those things that no one thinks about.
Right.
But it happens. And
well, and the thing is, it's
and people that know us and order a white Marlin, wow, it tastes a lot like tastes like white Marlin.
What's funny is it's just being sensitive to it too, and you know, being mindful that there's a lot of hands touching it.
No, for sure.
So I took my dad to a game just recently, and we go over to the Sailfish bar, which, by the way, go to Cacti Park and see the beautiful Sailfish bar. Took my dad there. He goes, "All these people work for you?" I go, "No, Pop, no. They're not armed. These people work for the caterer of the stadium. These are the security guards who work for another entity of the stadium. Here's the general manager of the stadium, who's a totally different entity. So there's 4 or 5 different hands who are part of the process." I don't know. It was just very funny to try to explain that to my dad, who's seen me every step of my career.
Yeah.
For him to think like, wow, you've hired all these people.
Well, it's just there's so many connections too. It's just like, you know, our buddy Jeremiah who works for the Marlins,
right?
And you know, he coaches the farm team.
Well, the Hammerheads, but I heard he got upgraded to Wisconsin. That's what Zach was saying the other day.
Oh, okay, yeah. But just seeing him at the game, and we gave the whole team a bunch of beer and stuff, hats, and like it's just like that kind of stuff gets me excited because, like, listen, if you grow up loving the game, you grow up playing baseball, like this is where it's at. And like the fact that you have done such a great job of getting us all these partnerships we have established is really amazing to have going on during this time of year, especially looking forward to the rest of the year at the Clover Park because of just how much presence it has during just the normal farm team league play.
Well, a lot of people don't realize how much fun minor league baseball can be.
Oh,
I mean, a lot of people get tied up. Well, you know, they're not real pro players.
If you've been to a Durham Bulls game, I mean, I went to high school in North Carolina, Raleigh, and like I've been in my fair share of old school Durham Bulls games before it's all nice and pristine now. But man, like that's some like history there.
Well, that part of it is cool. Those historical things.
Oh yeah.
The real party. What I'd love for this stadium to be one day. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina has the Myrtle Beach Pelicans.
Oh, you've been hearing those for 4 years, yeah.
Oh my God! You've only been hearing me talk about this shit all the time, but it's electric when you go in there, and has nothing to do with baseball. The baseball is like third on the list. It's like a mini Wrigley Park, part of it. The other part of it is a beach house. The other part of it is a frat party, because I mean they're selling these enormous jugs of like vodka and juice. They have bounce houses for the kids. In between innings, there's all sorts of crazy stuff. They do like Mario Kart on the bases. A dog is a bat boy, and it's just you can't get a ticket. If it's not like, you know, you wake up on Monday, I'm like, oh, let's go to the game. Yeah. No, you have to do it like a month ahead of time.
We had something not to your scale, but I was in school at App. We had the Hickory Crawdads.
Oh yeah.
Those are fun games to go to.
It's fun as hell. Yeah. No, and Thirsty Thursdays are a real thing at
And
Myrtle.
that's going to be fun this season.
Well,
Thursdays less, yeah.
Yeah, none of the details are finalized yet, but we're hoping for Thursdays to be
Very
just a
sailfish-focused.
fun day that you can have a cheap sailfish beer.
Yep.
Because we're all looking for something to do over the summer. Why not have a $3 to $4 beer at a baseball park?
No, it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to, once we get through this month and things start to, say slow down, but get back to a normal pace.
I mean, and that's the other side of it. On top, if we didn't have the spring training parks, we'd already be super
March
busy
is
this time of year. Yeah.
Hands down, our busiest month of the year, no matter what, how you slice it, where we're at in Florida. Pretty much anywhere you're at in Florida, March is the busiest month for everybody.
Right.
And on top of that, we have the presence with spring training. It's just wide open.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this whole month is pretty much like hold on to your socks.
It's we were talking about it earlier. It's like, when summertime is here, like it's pretty easy to like call out half a day on a Friday. Just do our thing. That doesn't exist. It is all hands on deck, and then Saturday we've got so much stuff going. Like the past 4 Saturdays, let's just call it. Actually, it's past 5 Saturdays. We've had something going on.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a baseball game or Turtle
Beer
Fest
Fest.
just something. I mean, it was unbelievable. Oh, I forgot that Equation Vero Wing Fest that weekend.
Oh yeah.
In that number.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Shout out to Mike Sturgis for working.
Oh
that
yeah,
event.
Sturge, great job.
Thank you very
dude.
much. Or great things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I don't know. Just something really cool about this time. You're seeing the parking lot fill up.
No, it's amazing. I mean, like I said, if you're a baseball fan, if you've been to any games, doesn't matter if it's a nostalgic park or not.
Yeah.
The environment's cool, and
Yeah, Sailfish koozie in his hand.
yeah, there you go.
Oh.
I mean, we're not far away, so
Yeah.
But it's just and to your point, what was so exciting to see was on that 2 Saturdays ago on Sunday when the amount of games were going on, seeing people posting about drinking the beer at the stadium, doing untapped check-ins at Cacti Park, rating the beer.
And here too.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of enthusiasm that you saw, it's like, been coming here for 4 years, finally a decent beer. And not to say the beer in there isn't decent, but it's the hometown brewery.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like that.
And we are going to probably try and do a charity baseball softball game this year.
We again, this is Emily's dream come true. The baseball team. Now, she thinks we'll be the Savannah Bananas tomorrow. I think Dave and I are probably the only ones who know how to swing a bat. This is probably the long and short of it. But it'll be a good time. And even if there's no charity involved, something cool will happen. Although I am impartial to that kickball idea. Kickball would
I think that'd be
too.
a home run, honestly.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No, none at all.
We have Ferris Bueller Day coming up too.
Yeah, so
Marlins, Cubs.
Yeah, so in the spirit of, just getting hyped on baseball season, you look at the schedule, you look at all sorts of stuff. And the first thing,
Oh!
I didn't do that.
What's up, buddy?
I didn't do that.
It's all right, man.
oh man, hey, I remember you from last year.
How's it going?
All I did was throw this one. Sorry to interrupt your commercial.
No, all good, man.
We're just hanging out. Good
No,
to see
it's
you, buddy.
staying in.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you after you're done.
All right, sounds
you
good.
gotta do a restart.
Come on.
No, you can jump in.
You're good,
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Hey, good, man.
Good to see you, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything good?
Yeah.
You got a lot more places to drink Sunrise this year.
Oh, who knocked us out the other day? It was Jupiter. We were in Jupiter yesterday.
Yeah.
They had the hazy IPA, but they didn't have this one.
No, they don't
Where
have
is that?
Sunrise at Jupiter. No, they have
Yeah.
hazy and lager.
At
Oh, yeah.
Jupiter,
Yeah.
You go to
Ballpark,
West Palm.
yeah.
If you go to West Palm,
Palm Beach.
we got it all.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So I always speak up. I go.
No, I appreciate it,
hey,
man.
What about this one? I like the hazy is okay,
Yeah.
but I like this one.
Different beers.
You're either saving a turtle or you're not, man. I get it.
All right, well, we'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right,
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Getting into the spirit of baseball, you look at the schedule, you look at all that stuff ahead of time, and our local pro team is the Marlins. I just started thumbing through, and
They're not a farm team, as popular. Opinion.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, they might be a farm team this year. I mean, there's and that's no disrespect. There are people in the organization who are saying that. I mean, shit, they said it last year, 8 games into the year. But to that end, you start looking at the games, and Dave is a huge Cubs guy, loves to go to Wrigley. I got 2 a.m. video text of him singing "Go Cubs Go," way off key. And I saw that the Cubs were playing the Marlins in the middle of the week, and I said, guys, let's call out of work right? Call out of work, play hooky, go see a Cubs game like Ferris Bueller.
So
And
so
it is
you're Cameron?
in this equation, I have to be Cameron because I am not going to be Sloan, and I'm certainly not Ferris.
All right.
Yeah.
So Emily Sloan, I'm Ferris, and I'm pretty sure we invited Jamie when we saw her on Saturday. So,
Okay, so we have to get an extra
so she
ticket.
may
then.
be the sister.
She could be, or she
Jennifer.
could be Principal Rooney.
Yeah.
Because she has the educational background. Oh, you caught us. We're just gonna be acting the bollocks. Marlins Park, probably taking the Bright Line down, or
Oh yeah.
you'll figure it out. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And Ferris Bueller Day. Find your own Ferris Bueller Day. Call out of work and be irresponsible and go see a baseball game. Yeah.
So what else are you looking forward to this? We just started the month off, so we got like 3.5 more weeks to go.
Man, so Double Sunrise is actually hitting distribution this week.
Yep.
And that's another thing that, you know, if you want to talk about going back in the Wayback Machine, this is April of 24 that we're even talking about doing brand extensions for Sunrise City. And, you know, if I could pull back the curtain and bring you into that process, the original idea was 8 different versions of Sunrise, then 4, then 3. How about just 1? How about a variety pack? Can't do a variety pack. And it's going through all these things and doing the research and saying like, well, you know, we're not gonna be able to charge, you know, X amount price because of the labor involved, the size of our brewery. But if we did this and that, there's so many different variables that I would bore the shit out of you by getting into. But long and short of it is, Double Sunrise was born in April of 24. Everything came to fruition sometime in June and July. It was presented to Publix in September, and the great Mr. Steve Jones, sight unseen, all 92 stores within our immediate area and a handful of others, and it's hitting the market. It is hitting the market, and
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see what happens.
gosh, it's been the response is just unbelievable. It's so distinctly different from Sunrise City,
Yep.
but the beats are the same. You know, like it's you could tell it has its roots in Sunrise. That hint of pineapple.
Yeah, it's definitely in the family.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Also looking forward to something that's kind of been a passion project for us for the better part of 2 years, and that is firmly embracing light tackle as the lager of Sailfish. Yeah.
Cannot wait.
So it's a little bit of a funeral, or we'll see a later Sailfish lager. And while the beer is not entirely different, this is truly a light tackle.
Yep.
It is everything that light tackle
Light
was.
tackle is
yeah,
the beer you drink while you're fishing.
right,
Sunrise City is what you drink when you're done fishing,
right.
or Double Sunrise.
Well, we could just have a big fishing day in there because we have light tackle and Sunrise on draft. Only one way to find out.
It's hard to believe we're already in March. Hard to believe spring training's already kicked off 2.5 or what week and a half in at this point.
Yeah.
Just
There's only 3 more weeks to go, and that to me is so wild.
Yeah.
And within that time, the amount of things that are going on is unreal. I mean, fireworks games are just starting. I mean, those things that's nuts.
Yep.
Although there was one ballpark down here, I will not say whom, did fireworks night and bark at the park in the same day. That did not go well. Just did not go well. And I couldn't think of, that is like, it's pizza and, it's a gluten-free night featuring Papa John's. So it's just one of those things that did not go well.
Right.
Although Cacti Park just did, we do happy hours.
Yeah, you guys had the bark in the park for the happy hour.
Well, that was a big surprise to me. I'm walking in, there's about 800 dogs. And dogs are going around, and then the mascots always come walking out. And I've got a pretty well, I know the people who guide the mascots. I don't necessarily know who's underneath the mascot. So, actually, no. It's actually President Herbert Hoover and William Howard Taft who are there. That's who it is. It's the actual presidents came back to life just to come to West Palm Beach Ballpark.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I would have liked to bring the dogs down. Moose wasn't fighting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
poor Moose. That's a total bummer. But
yeah,
no,
I've never knew what the word megaesophagus. That was even a disease, but it is. But yeah, megaesophagus. Yeah.
That is
terrible.
That's what I get during the 999 challenge, a megaesophagus.
So baseball. Obviously, both of us big baseball fans.
Of course.
You're obviously a bigger baseball fan than I am. Huge Yankees fan.
Of course.
For those who don't know, best baseball memory.
Well, I mean,
Being a fan.
I mean, here's the thing. A bucket list item for everyone who's a baseball fan is to go to a World Series game, and
I really thought you guys were gonna win that one too.
oh god, well, it was good until it wasn't. If you want to hear my real thoughts, listen to the Little Jim's podcast. But that was electrifying. Going to a World Series is the first time I've been to the new Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
When I was in college, my friends and I used to get on Metro North, take that all the way to the old Yankee Stadium. Bleacher tickets were $12. And this is just the degenerates that live in the Bronx and like stay in the bleachers. They were able to sneak in coolers of Miller Lite. I've never seen anything like it, nor have I seen anything. But this man had 60 Miller Lights in a cooler. He clearly didn't buy them in the stadium. He snuck them in somehow, or he knew a guy. Because every time the Yankees would score a run, he would Stone Cold Steve Austin. He would bash it on his head and then chug the beer. In one game, it was 12 runs. The dude had a concussion. Yeah. As far as like fun game I've been to, I mean, I go to a lot of Marlins games. Those aren't particularly great. No, I'd say Game 5 of the World Series was really highlight for me. You played in college, didn't you?
Well, high school.
High school, yeah.
High school, and yeah, I mean, playing. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, if I could have kept playing, I would have.
Yeah,
you know, it's an amazing sport. But probably the most embarrassing story I have as a baseball fan, which I've not told many people about this because honestly, it's that embarrassing. But Game 5 of the World Series for the Cubs. We were with a group of people there in Chicago, and yeah, obviously you're trying to buy tickets online. You're trying to like play it. Okay, the tickets were like the stock market. They kept going up and down, and you're trying to buy those best price, best seat, whatever it is. And obviously a lot of fake tickets online. You're being warned about it. Well, we convinced ourselves these tickets were real. And we went to some shady part of like
they were edible, Dave. How were they?
Some shady part of Southside Boston to grab these tickets. And I was like, as soon as the guy handed them to me, I was like, these are fucking fake. But I was like, I was like, that the kid in me was like, no, they're real.
No.
Yeah.
He wouldn't cheat me.
Who's gonna
strange man in a trench
trying
coat?
to steal $1,000 ticket from me? I mean, but you know, sure enough. And walking up to the stadium, hand the guy my ticket, and have him scan it, say these aren't real.
Yeah.
And just like,
oh,
you're fucking kidding me.
And then you got to go find a bar.
No, and luckily we found a bar near the stadium that we told the story to. They felt so bad for us, let us in because it was packed.
Right.
You had a reservation. We're going to go somewhere. Had great seats to watch Game 5, which is one of the few games they've won.
Well, being in the city is just
one game at home.
Being in the city is very good of the World Series, but like being in the park, no, that's the thing that's crazy now. The paper ticket is gone, and trying to coordinate that with people. It's like I was reading something the other. Just because something is new doesn't mean it's better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, you think that we're all in this digital age, so I'm like, all right, well, I forwarded you the tickets. I can't download the app. I don't. It's always like something funny. So it's like, who did I forward it to? And like a lot of people have their email addresses from like 1997. So it's like hotboy23 at outlook.com has accepted. Who the fuck is hotboy23? I have no idea who I sent this to. Now it's super convenient for like, you know, for me, I anything Major League Baseball. I pay money for that MLB at Plate app to watch any game I want, and you know, all that other stuff. So like for me it's nothing, but like the casual, it's like, so wait, I have to download an app to get, well, just hand me a ticket. Doesn't exist.
Nah.
No paper ticket. Yeah.
Days are gone.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, how do you keep a screenshot as a souvenir though? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I've got tickets for most football games I've been to and some other stuff, but like Game 5 of the World Series didn't have a ticket.
Yeah.
Like a screenshot of a StubHub thing. You know what I mean?
Print it out. And
yeah.
Frame it.
Put that up on the wall. That's authentic.
Growing up, my whole family was from Chicago on my mom's side, and my grandfather was a principal down in Miami, and one of his teachers was Andre Dawson's aunt. So I grew up with a bunch of like just autograph Andre Dawson stuff that I took for granted as a 6-year-old or 7-year-old.
Well, I mean,
it was just, but again, like
wasn't Ken Griffey. So,
but like that era of the Cubs, Sandberg, you know, through Mark Grace, all that whole group. I mean, such name players that, you know, just they would get so close every year. And yeah.
Well, that was, and that's the thing. It's like you want them to win badly, but when it's kind of like Roadrunner getting caught by Wile E. Coyote. Like, now what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. It's all right.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, like that. I remember watching. I was with Matt Webster at Tequesta Brewing Company watching Game 7 because he kept the place open for me because we were watching. It was like the game was like 1 in the morning.
Right.
And I remember watching that Game 7. I watched that. We were on defense. They had a grounded to third or just short. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, typical Cubs fashion, we're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
Like I'm just waiting for us to like miss it or like it's like a hit, hit or bounces, whatever. But sure enough, like I was so in disbelief of like, did that just happen? Did we win?
Oh.
And like I still get goosebumps talking about it.
When it's 19. When I grew up, the Yankees weren't the monsters that they are today. If you look at the '80s Yankees, you had a playoff drought like forever.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was the Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, Willie Randolph, Don Mattingly Yankees. I mean, like, they almost pulled it off. And in '96, they didn't give the Yanks a shot to do anything that year. They had a bunch of rookies and cast-offs from other teams. They're like, Paul O'Neill, what year is it, 1987? Yeah. And they beat the Atlanta Braves in 6 games.
Yeah.
And
the Braves were a dynasty.
They were the Gas House Gorillas for real. Like, the Bugs Bunny team that hit everything. That was the crime dog, Fred McGriff and David Justice, and gosh, they had Maddox.
The pitching then
Maddox,
was like
Smoltz, and
that trifecta of pitchers they had. Maddox, Smoltz, and
it's like the Dodgers now.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
At $1/3 billion. But Charlie Hayes, as my mom called him, drunken Charlie Hayes. Don't know why he was drunken Charlie Hayes, just mom logic. And he makes the catch, third base side. I'm like, all right. Did the Yankees just really win the World Series? Did that happen? And then they won a lot, and it got less cool.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was a series against the Padres in '99. It was like I didn't even watch. I'm like, oh no, they've won it. They've won it.
Yeah, we started taking it for granted. It's not that much fun.
Well, then it got fun again because they played the Mets, and I'm gonna try to, as I say this, with a Mr. Met hat on for the first time in my life. This is just how far my life has been. I'm wearing a Mr. Met spring training hat at a Mets stadium, psyched to go into the stadium, without being like snarky or anything. But I digress. They had a player called Benny Agbayani, who, this is the world beater Yankees. I mean, this is like Roger Clemens, like 30-game winner. Matsui is just hitting bombs. I mean, this is like an insane team. And no, Matsui wasn't on that team. A-Rod was not on that team. But there was just a lot of talent on that Yankee team. I'll just put it that way. And Benny Agbayani's like, yeah, no, we got him. We got this in 5. Mets in 5. And it was not Mets in 5. It was not Mets in 5, like, at all. Thank you very much, Armando Benitez. Yes, it was not Mets in 5. And that was cool. That was really cool.
All right, man. Well, I'm excited about the game today. As
the
sun starts to set below the tent now, I can't see anything, but awesome hanging out today. Looking forward to the rest of the tailgate. Awesome weather.
Yeah.
You can ask for, Florida, March in Florida.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty
really
cool. It doesn't get much better than this. And we've got good seats for the game.
Yeah.
We got a guy. We have our own private walking vendor.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool. Actually, we have a bunch of them, but one in particular who's going to be in our section. Yeah.
But guys, listen, check us out on our YouTube channel, sailfishbrewingco.com. Obviously, catch us on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to do a lot of antics through spring training.
Yep.
Rest of the year as well, too, just trying to make beer fun again.
Yes, that's the ethos.
Fun,
yep.
And not too serious.
Agreed.
And looking forward to hanging out with the guys rest of the year this year and kicking off this year. Officially kicks off with spring training here with Mr. Baseball himself, Brian Tonneson. Thanks for being with us today.
Very happy to be here.
Guest / co-host today.
Yes. Man, I was the guest. How about that shit? Yeah, that's cool.
I only exist to ask questions, so yeah.
Right.
I'm just kind of.
There's only one episode where I asked questions, and I had to do it off an iPad, so here we are. Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers to you, man.
Looking forward to a great game. Enjoy, guys. Happy spring training season. Get out there and enjoy your local ball teams, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks again.
Have a beer on us.